talking about Emiru and Mizkif, two names that I don't expect you to know. The talented Bo Burnham. Here's what I'm going to share with you all. I'm chronically online. I be on Twitter all the time. I have no context. I don't really know these people, but we're going to do our due diligence today and try and figure out what's going on. If you go to the site formerly known as Twitter and you just type in these two's names, you see that we have allegations of assault. Emiru is a young woman. Mizkif is a young man. They are both very popular streamers. They both have over 1 million followers on Twitch, I believe. But when I saw this jumping out, the first thing I see is apparently Emiru, the young lady, she is accusing her ex-boyfriend of assault, manipulation, harassment, blackmail. And apparently his response is, "You hurt rabbits." I don't think it's as simple as that. So here's why we're doing this today. Also, look at this. Look at this. Apparently, I mean, this meme kind of sums up kind of my fascination with this situation. Emiru throws a Kirby at him. Mizkif, the quote-unquote victim, launches this Christmas tree at her. I don't know. Twitter is a crazy place. Here's where we're going to start. Here's where we're going to start. Here's where we're going to start. First of all, welcome. I see JD Eagles in the building. Gareth Gorgeous. Disdain. The song is called What the Fuck Is Going On? It's by Bo Burnham. This is where I want to start today. I want to get straight to the evidence, straight to the content. This is what we're working with. The reason why I wanted to do this live is because I can't justify watching an hour and a half or 2 hours of content about people who I don't know by myself in my bedroom. That just seems kind of ridiculous when I have this platform, you know? So what I thought the best thing we could do is look at what she has to say, look at what he has to say, and then try to come to a conclusion on our own. I saw some people asking about they're like, "Oh, is this the same dude that touched her at TwitchCon?" TwitchCon is this event where a bunch of streamers get together and they just like meet up and talk about how cool the other is, etc., etc. Emiru, the young lady on our screen right here, she is a prominent streamer, and she was there, and some dude basically just walked up on her and just like hugged her and tried to kiss her, and eventually they got him off her, but then they just let him walk away. Shit was crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy. Twitch put out a statement about that. I think it was a little lackluster, but no, the guy that we're talking about, the one that she's coming out and exposing, is not that dude. That was a different dude. May that man rot. But yeah, Mizkif, I don't know anything about the man. Emiru, I don't really know anything about the woman. But we're gonna see what she has to say about him because I'm nosy. Do I think that we should be using these random people's sorrow or potentially trauma for our entertainment? Generally speaking, no. But they put it out here, and I don't think that it's going to be like a super fun time. But I do think it's interesting. I do think it's worth discussing. Why is this out here? Why did this happen? Who are these people? Why are they sharing it with us? Let's figure it out. This is Emiru's side. The first 20 minutes of this video was actually her talking about the TwitchCon incident. Has nothing to do with this Mizkif guy. So I actually saved you the trouble so we don't have to waste those first 20 minutes. Let's see what she's talking about. Here we go. What's she saying about her ex?
Today, I'm finally going to be opening up about the psychological and domestic abuse, stalking and harassment, sexual assault, and threats of blackmail that Mizkif has done towards me, and some of these issues which are still ongoing.
Just a laundry list of stuff. If you can think of it, apparently he has done it to her. Now, what I'm really interested to discover throughout this video is what kind of evidence do we get? Now, she talks about how she talked to a lawyer before she put any of this stuff out here. She says that she has a script, she has notes, and I feel like if we are going to talk about something as serious as this, it's important to come with receipts, as the kids say. So here we go.
For the entirety of this year, I've attempted to separate myself from him and not talk about him at all, and not talk about this issue and just not make it a public thing. I always tried my best to keep this to myself, But like I said, I feel like it's gone to the point, which I'll explain later, that I feel like it just has to be done. And I have always believed in not condemning people or starting drama online. So I'm sure a lot of people are going to be asking, why am I doing this and why now?
It's a great question. Also, I'm going to crank this up speed-wise just a little bit. Our girl's a little shaky, which is understandable. She's probably nervous. But we can speed this up a little bit. I trust you all to keep up.
And I would like to explain that before I get started so that people understand what prompted me to do this today and that it's not just on a whim or something like that. Okay, so like I said, I took a lot of notes, so forgive me if I just end up reading off my notes. The first and probably most severe reason is that one of the rules that I set for myself a long time ago about withholding this information was that if I ever felt like somebody else was in danger or being hurt, I would then make myself speak about it. And 2 weeks ago, actually 3 weeks ago now, I was informed by 3 separate people, one of whom was present for said incident, that he had done something similar to something that he had done to me, and someone in LA at the end of September. And this person is not a streamer or content creator, but obviously that does not matter. And because of this, I cannot in good conscience sit here knowing that I know critical information about someone that almost no one else does and not say anything.
All right, so this is what I've gathered so far. Homegirl's not going to come out and talk about any of this stuff, but apparently some of what she experienced happened to somebody else, somebody that's not even in the streaming community. And she was like, all right, the man is clearly a menace to society. Here's another thing that I want to draw your attention to. So this was released on October 25th, which is literally 2 days ago. It's fresh. Likes are on. And the comments are, you girl. I always knew there was something off about this person, but I couldn't prove it. They're generally pretty positive. Now, I want to show you a little bit of a spoiler alert. This is what's going on over on... There is a response that we're going to get to from the guy that she's accusing. His name is Mizkif. Notice his likes are turned off, which I think is curious. He didn't take but 1 day to respond to this, which I think is very telling. Who are these people? Never heard of them, and what happened? Emiru, female streamer. Mizkif is a male streamer. They both have millions of followers across YouTube and Twitch. She's exposing him for being a menace and a bad boyfriend, but not like Corey Kenshin type bad boyfriend. I mean, like, she's saying that like he was legitimately abusive. Now, if you go to his comments, the first thing you see is Emiru is a better tank. I think we'll get more context for that later. Someone download this before it gets deleted. That being one of the top comments means that his response is probably not going to be ideal. But I don't know. I haven't listened to any of this stuff yet because I could not be bothered to. Let's go back to Emiru. She says that she wasn't going to say anything about it, but apparently he was out behaving with other women the way that he was with her. So let's continue.
I think that most issues and dramas should stay private and off the internet. And I still hold that belief to this day, and I will hold that belief going forward. However, there are certain things that cross the line, and I say that the line has been crossed too many times to be count. There's a point where I believe that people deserve to know. I think that at a certain point, if you know a lot of things about someone and you don't say anything to look out for others, it's wrong. It's wrong to keep it to yourself. I don't want what happened to me or what has happened to other people because of him to happen to other people. And I don't believe he will ever stop behaving the way he does. But regardless, like I said, one of the main reasons I decided to do this stream is to come out about all of this because I can't hold on to it any longer because it feels wrong to do so. And an honorable mention reason for why I'm doing this
Honorable mention.
is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together.
Okay, I want you all to remember this. If you're the type of person that does not have a lot going on today and wants to see this through to the end. I haven't watched this full video and his full response all the way through, But apparently one of the reasons why she didn't come out and talk about him before is because he had planned to run a smear campaign in response. And I saw like a short clip of him apparently doing that. So I want you all to keep that in mind, why it took so long for this to come out. Who are these people? They are streamers, big streamers that broke up, and she is now exposing this man because apparently he, let me make sure I got this right. Psychological abuse, physical abuse, verbal, all of it. He's a bad guy, and she wasn't gonna say anything about it, but apparently he's been doing it to other people as well. So we're gonna hang on tight, see if she's got any receipts. We got an hour of this.
Asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused. At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me.
Oh my God.
Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him.
It's crazy because, okay, spoiler alert, he literally does this. This is the problem, because he responds to this video literally a day after she put it out, and it makes me think that, like, he didn't actually watch this. Because the stuff that she's saying he's going to do, he ends up doing. She's euphoria-ing him. She literally sees him coming. Goodness gracious.
I'm sure he's probably listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months.
I don't know who killed the rabbits. I don't know. We might try and look into that at the conclusion of these videos. But it's crazy that she's like, he told one of my people that if I say anything about him, he's going to tell people that I killed my rabbits. What the fuck? Such an oddly specific threat that actually ended up coming true within like 24 hours.
But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet. Okay. So now that I've explained all the reasons why this took so long and why I made the decision to do this stream,
Here we go.
I have a few more things I would like to get out of the way before I start talking about all of this. The way that I'm going to do this today is I'm going to run through everything from the beginning to the end to try to get across the story as accurately and fully as I can.
This is helpful because a lot of people that are coming across this like wouldn't even know the full extent of their relationship.
And, hold on. Also, going to be showing a few screenshots validating what I'm saying.
Oh boy. She has an entire file and folder. My man. If I was on the receiving end of this, this is scary stuff.
I have more things, but this is what I felt comfortable using today. And I will be running through those later. Another thing that I'd like to mention before I start is that during my statement, I'm going to be mentioning directly the names of about half a dozen other creators who were present for certain things. And I want to say that none of these people did anything wrong. I'm just saying that they were there, and I've asked all of them permission. They all said that it was fine to include their names, but I know this won't stop everyone, but I ask people, for the streamers that I mentioned, please don't go bothering them or asking them for more information. If there's something else that they want to say, they'll say it themselves, so there's no point to go pester them and bother them about it. There are also streamers who gave me permission to share things that they relayed to me privately, but asked me to redact their names, which I, of course, did.
How long has she been putting together this presentation? Dude, this isn't even about me, and I'm sitting here like, good lord, man. Good lord.
And the last thing that I want to make clear is that not every person that I interact with or that I'm friends with knew the extent of all of these things. And in fact, most of them didn't. And some of them didn't even know anything at all. I tried to keep things private with my close friends, but if anyone during the past year ever approached me asking questions, I didn't lie and I told them the truth. But yeah, I don't want there to be some kind of witch hunt like, oh, you knew and this, no, a lot of people, didn't.
This is huge. I actually really appreciate this specific bit. And also shout out Jay Reloaded for becoming a member. I feel like it's important to have these little these little bits of time where we can kind of, exhale and get away from the drama of what we're covering right here. I do have to knock out 5 push-ups really quickly. Appreciate you for becoming a member. I mean, I couldn't do this without you. Don't look at my bottom. Hold on. Light work, really. Light work. When you work from home like me, you gotta find ways to stay fit. We're back at it though. I do think it's really nice for her to come out and be like, hey, there are obviously other streamers that are involved here. Don't bother them. They didn't all know everything. I got permission to share these things. Don't make it bigger than it has to be. But I'm here to let her cook.
Know everything or didn't know anything. Okay. I think that's all that I have to get out of the way.
Get the drink of water. Oh, this is we're about to get into the nitty gritty. Should I be so excited about this? You can tell she's a veteran streamer. She's like, before I really get into the yapping, let me down some H2O. Valid. All right, let's get it.
Start. So, this is public information. I initially moved in. Sorry. I'm still sick, like I said.
It's a hard watch. All right. We'll try and keep it chill. I don't know the full content, so we'll see. Derp, what the fuck are we doing, bruh? We are learning the ins and outs of the streamer community.
Okay. This is all public, obviously this part. I moved in with him, I believe it was the end of 2021, because he offered. I was living alone at the time, and I was having stalker issues in Kansas, and I mean, you guys know like all the stuff that happened there. I ended up joining the org and everything. We did a lot of streams together. And I mean, a lot of people already know this, but I'm just gonna come out and say it.
Okay.
We started dating. We were in a relationship starting January 2022 after I joined OTK.
All right, OTK is a streaming group. If you are familiar with online groups like the Sidemen or AMP with Kai Cenat and friends or whatever, she joined that organization. And apparently, I think Mizkif is the head of it. Y'all can let me know if you know.
I'm not planning to go into too much detail about the start of the relationship because it honestly doesn't really matter at this point. It's irrelevant now. The only things that really matter that you guys need to know for the story are that it was, one, an extremely private relationship. It was even hidden from friends and people in the org, but I mean, obviously people all eventually figured it out. They're not fucking stupid. And second, it was an extremely codependent relationship, which it's not the issue, but let's just, making that clear for details. He initially portrayed himself to me as someone who was very nice to girls and wanted to help me feel safe from stalkers and wanted me to succeed as a teammate. And we grew very close over time, and I was very dependent on him for feelings of safety, social life, like my stream, my job, everything. So yeah, besides it being a very codependent relationship, the start of it was fine. I saw a lot of people mentioning this. They thought this was what I was going to talk about. It's not a secret. I think everyone who paid attention knew that he was very controlling over what I wore, to a degree, who I was friends with, and
very controlling over what I wore? Okay, so we're already like off rip. It's not looking good. The fact that she's saying that everybody knew this is already kind of crazy. As someone with no context, do I even want to know? If you got nothing else going on, come hang. I feel like this is going to be an educational video more than anything. There's a lot in here about how to navigate relationships in general.
And even when I would stream. So, when it was definitely slow over time that bad things started happening. At the start, it would be things like, for example, he would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me. despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruise very easily.
He's throwing things at you? Okay. All right. I mean, I don't know if you guys ever had a plastic bottle full of liquid thrown at you. I feel like that could be, that could hurt. That could be painful. That could be bad. This is where we're starting. I'm telling you as aware and I'm throwing things at you. Jesus, we got an hour left. Come on.
He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one
Throw his phone? Do you know how hard phones are? Jesus Christ. Okay. All right. Lock in. It's gonna get worse.
time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident.
What?
Even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get scared me, and I bruise very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but
He threw his phone, hit her in the eye, and gave her a black eye. Really shocked that he would respond to this in under 24 hours. Really insane. Yeah, Jess, totally understandable if you don't want to be a part of this. This is a lot. This is crazy. We're just getting started. Oh my god. That could have been like the whole thing. Oh, this is rough. This is rough for Miz.
he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident, and I was like, oh yeah, it's an accident. Like, you know, of course I'm not gonna think that, you know, he's. Yeah, I just. At the time, I just kind of was, you know, I just brushed it off, and looking back now, I feel like that was kind of the start of him testing my boundaries, if that makes sense.
Yeah, obviously more rough for her. I mean, rough for him as in like, this is a terrible look for him. It's over for him and it probably should be, assuming that this happened. But goodness gracious.
So that was already kind of starting to show signs within the first 6 months of me and him being close. And then, again, a very public situation. The end of 2022, the cover-up allegations happened. I mean, yeah, like I said, all that's public. You can find all that, see like what I said during that, everything. After that happened, his behavior started getting a lot worse, which, I mean, I suppose it makes sense. You know, he was very stressed. A lot of stuff was happening, but the bad behavior was ramping up, and I feel like it's so apparent if, like, you know, you go back and watch anything from that time. I tried so hard to help him and be there for him because I really believed in him, and I wanted him to, you know, get better and get back on his feet and be the person that, you know, I always believed that he was.
I believe the cover up that she's referring to is, I think she must have been talking about the black eye, and maybe she did her part to help him cover that up. I don't know. Let me actually look into this really quickly. Hold on, Emiru. Let me see if I can find anything on that really quickly. Yeah, stream from around August 2022, where some viewers have noticed Emiru's black eye, likely from the bottle incident discussed. So she literally is talking in what we're talking about today about how he would like throw bottles and stuff at her. And people are speculating that it may have been from him throwing a bottle at her. Yeah. We will, if anybody has any more information on that specifically, then please DM me on Twitter at Derapy _. And I will check those for context. But yeah, let's continue.
But that unfortunately did not really happen. For a long time, I think about a year and a half from when that all happened, it was kind of like slow things getting worse. But I mean, honestly, I'm not even gonna bother going into the details of all of that because there's just too much to cover, and it's honestly kind of not really relevant to the rest of what I'm saying because the rest of what I want to say is a lot worse.
How does it get worse?
There was a point where things really took a turn for the worst. Like, it felt like, you know, like a very delicate branch just kind of snapped.
All right, we're going to crank this up. Believe it or not, we were actually on a 1.2 speed. We're going to crank it up to like 1.3.
So, and again, a lot of people are like vaguely aware of this, but I'll explain it for people who aren't, you know, chronically tapped into all that stuff.
Thanks, Emiru. Appreciate you.
So for a long time, after the like cover-up allegations happened, and he was like starting to kind of struggle on his stream, he never wanted to stream at the same time as me. Like, we really avoided it. And to me at the time, it made sense because, you know, I was like, well, of course, like, you know, we share a lot of community members. If we're live at separate times, we're both going to perform better. You know, it makes sense. But, yeah, we were never really live doing the same thing at the same time for a long time, with the exception of, like, things like events or sponsors or, like, you know, just special things. For a very long time. And a lot of you guys probably noticed that I would only usually stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. That was, because of him. And now I stream whenever I want, but
So he was controlling the schedule too. So we got allegations of controlling what she wears, which he says was public knowledge. Allegations of him throwing things at her, giving her a black eye. Now controlling when she works, what days. Her schedule used to be different because they didn't want to be streaming at the same time because they shared a lot of like community members. If they were both live at the same time, then he would, I guess people would like gravitate more towards her. Maybe that would bother him. I think we may see some evidence of that later too. The jealousy.
The first time that we ever streamed at the same time was for the 2024 Rust Kingdoms event on Twitch. We were sharing drops, so it was the first time in a very long time that we were both going to be live at the same time doing the same thing, basically. I know you're probably like, what the fuck's that to do with anything? But it'll make sense in a bit. So I'm live, he's live, we're both streaming, and like I said, you can go find all of this. This is public. There are clips of this.
I'm late, but is there a freestyle at the end? I don't know, maybe. Come back in like 2.5 hours and you'll see.
We're both streaming the Rust event, and I thought it was going really well. I thought everyone was having fun. I was like, oh, this is great. Everyone's, you know, doing the same thing at the same time. We're all hanging out. You know, we're gonna have fun. Like, I was really, really excited. And then I start seeing in my chat people start saying unofficial Miz raid, and I'm like, what does that mean? And then I check my Discord messages, and he's messaging me. He's saying like, Emmy, you know, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna KMS. I waited so long for this, etc.
What? So they're streaming at the same time, and at the same time that they're streaming, apparently a bunch of people started flooding her stream saying like unofficial raid, which I'm pretty sure if you're like a Twitch person, please let me know if I'm getting this right. I'm pretty sure like a raid is when you like purposely send like your audience to somebody else's stream. But apparently that may have been happening, and then he messaged her on Discord talking about how he was gonna leave the galaxy indefinitely over whatever. I'm sure she's gonna give some details to it, but like, what is the issue? Apparently, this is a result of them streaming at the same time.
Basically, he was upset because I had higher viewership than him. That's literally it. I had higher viewership than him. And like I said, this is during an event, so there were drops, like everyone.
Okay, so that's what I thought. Yeah, so they're in a relationship. This is what kills me. Like I'm in a relationship. I have a wife. She has a great job. And there have been times in my life where I'm making more money than her, doing better. And there have been times in her life where she's been making more money and doing better. And when she's doing well, like, I love that for her. I don't get it. I don't get it. Why wouldn't you just be happy for your partner? You know, why are you flipping out? I don't get that at all. Just be like a normal person. Just be supportive. I don't really get that.
But knows when there's drops, like it's not even fucking real. But yeah, he starts messaging me. He's really upset. I tried to tell him, I was like, bro, you should come back and play. Everyone's having fun. Everyone's
Oh, unofficial raid. As in he randomly ended stream because she was doing better. Oh, okay. So it was like an unofficial raid because, you know, because he just randomly stopped and they saw she was streaming at the same time. Okay. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. Yo, what did I miss? So basically there is this female streamer. Her name is Emiru. And she made this like hour and a half long video talking about how terrible her ex-boyfriend is. And we're getting all the details. He was jealous of her success. He was allegedly abusive towards her, was throwing things at her, was telling her what to wear, etc., etc. And a lot of the stuff she's saying is like public knowledge, but she also has like a folder, a file of receipts that she's going to share. So yeah, that's what we're doing.
like wondering where you are. But yeah, he ended the stream. And then I'm still live, you know, trying to act like nothing's wrong. And in that house, I had a glass door so I could like see this was happening. He was walking behind me, making sure that I knew he was there. And by the way, so there were many ways out of that house if he wanted to leave the house that were closer to his stream room. He intentionally chose the door that was right by my room. I feel like that's pretty apparent, at least to me. He starts walking behind my stream and slamming the door so loud that my noise gate can pick it up. So even people on my stream are able to hear this is happening.
Jeez.
And he slams it so hard and so many times that the front door literally broke. The lock did not work anymore. It didn't work for months, and it would just make this horrible sound that I would have to hear like every fucking day, but...
So, just to catch you all up, Emiru and her boyfriend Mizkif, they're streaming at the same time. They usually try to avoid those times because he's worried about her viewership being higher. But there's this event and they have to be streaming at the same time. Apparently, while he's live, he notices that her viewership is higher. This is in 2024. He rage quits his stream. All of his fans, the people that were watching him, are like going into her stream saying unofficial raid from Mizkif because he ended his early. Apparently they're streaming in the same house at the same time. Look, him being shitty to her isn't funny. But him like crashing out over her numbers being higher and then him walking around like slamming doors it's pretty silly. It's ridiculous. That's why I'm smiling. Not because like, you know, what she's going through is funny, but like he is a giant man baby. If this is the case, this is ridiculous. Yeah, streamers being shitty people, water is wet. Yeah. Apparently they're streaming in the same house like at the same time while this is happening. And it's just like there's so many ways for him if he's going to end his stream to just exit the premises or go to any other area of the home or out of the home, but he's like purposely making himself known. He's slamming doors and shit. It's awful. What a baby. And it's just weird because like, I don't know anything about this dude. And for the record, we are going to get to his response and see if he has an explanation for any of this. If we find out that maybe like, you know, this was going both ways. Right now, we're only hearing her side, but it sounds like it's really awful for her, and it sounds like he was being really awful. But I have a hard time believing that like these very specific details about the sound that the door made after it broke from him slamming it is completely fabricated. Like I think he's looking bad. It's looking bad for him.
Anyway, so I hear him back there doing this, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So I tell my
And it's like, also, if this is a public stream, people could also probably hear him doing this while she's on stream, so.
Stream, I'm like, hey, guys, I'll be right back. I get up and I go talk to him, and I'm like, hey, what's going on? And he's like, Emmy, like, I hate all you guys. Like, all you guys do is just take from me, and like, I'm just done. Like, I'm just done. And I was like,
I hate you guys. All you guys do is take from me. Brother, nobody made you stop streaming.
this is like really happening because of rush drops? And he was like, I don't know what else to do. He was like going off on me, like basically saying that he hated me. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do now. And he was like, go finish your stream so that people don't know anything's wrong.
Oh my god.
And I stop in the bathroom outside my stream room, and I'm like, you know, checking my makeup, trying to make sure people can't tell that I was like crying. And I'm only in there for like 30 seconds, and he comes and like looms in the doorway. He's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm just checking my makeup." So I go back and I stream for a couple hours to finish the stream, do my best to just like carry on the show basically. And yeah, after that, like I said, was when things started to get really fucking bad. It was like something just snapped. For the rest of the week, he streamed the Rust event. He got all the drop viewers. I'm sure he was very happy. I mean, good for him. And during that time, I obviously was
Yeah, there's paperwork. Yeah, she has like a binder. She has files. She has receipts. So I'm sure we're gonna get to those.
like thinking and processing a lot of what happened. But I mean, it was a lot because this person was at the time like kind of it was like my partner and my best friend and like the only person that like I really talked to ever, or like at least off stream. So I mean, it was a lot. But the very next stream, I went live about a week after that, and I announced that I was planning to move because I knew that I would have to move. So I was like, okay, I have to go live and say this so that, kind of force myself to commit to it, right? Does that make sense? Obviously, I didn't move out right away, but after like all of that Rust stuff happened was when the other domestic abuse stuff really started.
Okay. So we're like halfway through this video and we already have like it seems like we have jealous behavior, we have psychological abuse, we have him being upset about her success, we have him talking about throwing things at her, her talking about him throwing things. I'm really interested to see when we get into the file, when we get into the folder, when we get into the screenshots. We also have her talking about publicly saying that she's going to move because of this behavior from him. So that's a good step. I'm glad that that happened, assuming that it did.
He would destroy furniture in front of me. He would throw things in front of me and near me. Destroy walls. Again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom, the holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. And at the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die, like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did.
Every time I think I've heard of like every different way you can just like psychologically freak somebody out, I hear something new. Sound like a old school Eminem song. Doing a $150 on the freeway. What is this man so upset about? Damn, he took scaring the hose as a personal challenge to go. All right, okay.
A lot of the time, like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food, and he was on his phone, and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, "Oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me." And I was like, "Oh well, like, huh, yeah, I guess so," which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Bruh. Literally crashing out over a Mr. Beast video. Buddy's dude's literally on his phone on YouTube, sees Mr. Beast drop, sees some people got invited that weren't him, and is talking about crashing the whip with him and his girl in it. You'll never hear anything like it again. How? Get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. This stuff is just some stuff is just way too specific to be made up, dog. What a crazy reaction. Every time I hear a story like this, I'm just like, how do these people garner hundreds of thousands or millions of followers with demeanors like this? It's so weird. Hold on, let me run that back. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
We were just getting food, and he was on his phone, and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video, and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer, and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, like, huh, yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about killing himself while doing it.
Just trying to rage quit life over not being in a Mr. Beast video. Are you that down bad? Yeah, no. So this is not about the thing that happened at TwitchCon. This is the same girl that it happened to, but this is basically her talking about the behavior of her ex-boyfriend, Mizkif, fellow streamer. And she is doing basically this whole expose on him. She would have done it sooner, but apparently he was blackmailing her and telling her friends and employees that he would launch a smear campaign if she came out and said any of this stuff. But then it turned out that he was, according to her, exhibiting some of this behavior towards a different person. So she decided that she was going to let all this fly. And she has all types of prep, all types of research done. So yeah.
Then at home, other things would happen. Like, I'd be trying to sleep and he would scream at me and say that it was all my fault that he felt insecure. There was a time that I walked into a room that he was in, and as soon as he saw me there, he threw his phone at the dresser and started yelling because I had posted a YouTube video within the same couple of days as him, and mine was doing better. So basically, I felt like...
Well, I wonder how he's going to react to this. So, again, quick breather. Both of them actually posted a video about this situation. Hers was 2 days ago. It's sitting on 1.1 million views. Likes are on. Quick spoiler alert, he put out his own response. Likes are off. It's sitting on 100,000 views. So I can only imagine how many... His wall is in danger. His phone is on watch. Take his car keys. It's not looking good. For a man that's obsessed with the performance of content, I would not want to be an inanimate object in his vicinity. But we're going to get there. We're going to get there.
I was kind of stuck.
Also, the fact that like he's actually pissed off at her for posting a YouTube video within just a few days of him posting a video is crazy. Like, it's one thing to be like, hey, if we both stream at the exact same time and we share a lot of the same audience, it could diminish some of our viewers. It's like, I still think it's stupid, but, you know, at least it makes sense. But him being mad that she posted a video within a few days of him. Days? What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
In a loop where I felt like I had to constantly perform and like prove my value to not be thrown away. But at the same time, if I ever performed too well, I was going to be punished for it. And it just felt like a very rough situation to be stuck in because, I mean, streaming is my hobby and my job. Like, it's a huge part of my life, even before, you know, I met him and became like a larger creator. And I remember thinking all the time how it felt like he hated me, but he still wanted me around for his channel and like his thumbnails and everything.
That's so crazy. Yo, shout out Greg in the chat. Appreciate you for the 2 bones. Much love, much love. I just feel like if my if my partner was a successful content creator and was running numbers up, I'd be doing cartwheels over it. What a gift, what a blessing, you know? Like, we're kind of in it together. I don't know. And I'm kind of just under the assumption that in general, if you have somebody that's like putting in work and is good at the work, I feel like you're much more likely to cultivate a really loyal and good fan base if you happen to be a female streamer. Like, he should just expect that in a way. But also, just kind of focus on your own thing. I don't know. It's really odd to me. I think it would just be like really, really cool if my girl was out here doing business like this, running numbers up. I'd be like, wow, we're both winning. Not for Mizkif, apparently.
And this is still before I moved out. There was a time where it was the tension in the house was so unbearable that I would sneak out and I would sneak into Esfan's house using my code. And Esfan didn't know why I was doing this. He saw me a couple times. I'd be like, oh, I'm just gonna go take a nap in your guest room. He'd be like, yeah, that's fine. I would sneak into Esfan's house just to have some time of like peace and quiet. But eventually he figured out where I was going and he would go over to Esfan's house to keep telling me off. And there was a time that he
Literally following her places to berate her.
did it. And I was laying in the guest room bed, and one of the roommates in that house had come to see like why I was crying, and they were standing in the corner. And he came in, and he was very physically aggressive. He was like, Emmy, like, what are you doing? Like, angry. And then as soon as he turned and saw this other person standing there, he instantly like deflated and changed his tone. He was like, oh, Emmy, I was wondering where you were. Like, are you coming home? And that roommate like later asked me about it. And they were like, what the fuck was that? Like, are you okay? And I was just like, oh, it's nothing, because I felt like a lot of the reason that I didn't tell the people around me was because I felt like no one would understand, or even if they understood, it would just be a burden to them, because all of our streams and social circles and communities are so intertwined. I was like, maybe it's just better for me to deal with this and like hope things get better.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know anything about these streaming circles, about these social circles. I feel like this behavior is like so objectively horrific. Like, I don't know how to tell other people that, you know, they're throwing things at me and scaring me. Like, it's really unfortunate that she felt like she didn't have anybody around her that would be able to hear that and be like, girl, I'm here for you. Girl, get away from him. Girl, that man should be arrested immediately.
Basically. I honestly don't even remember what the final straw was that I finally was like, okay, it's time to go. Like, I prepared the house that I lived in before this one, like, pretty much immediately after the, like, breaking the front door thing happened, but I was still, like, scared and unsure. So I don't remember what the final straw was, but I remember the day I took Cheddar to the house, because he just randomly started, like, screaming at Cheddar and was like, get that fucking cat out of my house. So I just grabbed Cheddar and put him in my car.
Why is he screaming at Cheddar?
And grabbed his litter box and took him there, and I just left him there.
By the way, shit gets a lot worse. How?
Never took him back to that house. And then I think like within several days after that was when I finally moved out. It was on very short notice. Like I said, I don't even remember what the final straw was because so many things happened, but there was a time when I just knew. I called some movers. I said, hey, can you come tomorrow? And they're like, yeah, and then I literally moved the next day. Moving out into the last house that I lived in was a huge step mentally, because like I said, a big part of why I moved into the first house in Texas in the first place was because I felt like it was the safest option for me, because, you know, I am a girl where it's like kind of scary for me to be living alone. So it was very hard, and at the time, even though like all these other things had already happened, I was very hopeful that me and him could be cordial and like eventually like things would be fine, at least publicly. Like,
oh, trigger warning, apparently. Yeah, typically if you are ever in a situation where like you're in a relationship with somebody and they're being abusive towards you, they aren't going to start treating you better like after you create space from them. You have to cut them off entirely. That would be the ideal situation, but I guess because of her essay, I assume means sexual assault. And she's gonna go into detail about that. I should have put a trigger warning over this whole thing. There's trigger warning in the title of her video. I do think it's interesting how it says trigger warning Mizkif, as if like he is the trigger, like he entirely is the trigger. In a way he is, but still, yeah. Totally understand if you're anybody that's been in a situation like this before. Absolutely would understand if this isn't a stream you want to participate in, but I want to hear everything so that I have full context for his response. And I want to see who else is involved so we all know who to stay away from.
for stream reasons that, everyone could just keep streaming like nothing had happened. And, at the time I thought that would be the best thing to do. And I felt like if I, separated myself from him without explaining anything, people that watched us wouldn't understand and would, attack me. I was, yeah, I mean, it ended up happening anyway, so, but, yeah. After I moved out, we, like I said, still kept in contact. I had hope that somehow things would get better. He would always beg for me to come back, and he would promise therapy and change and, like, even talk to other people and, like, kind of present, like, oh, I want to...
He would promise therapy? My lord. Yo, later, Gareth. Appreciate you. Like the video.
Change. I want to be better for Emmy or whatever, There was, a short period in October where we had broken up because, I mean, it honestly doesn't matter now. And when that happened, I honestly felt relieved because I was like, okay, finally, it's like on his terms. So that means he'll be satisfied and he'll be able to say it was his choice and he'll leave me alone. Because whenever I would try to push for it, it just felt like I couldn't like really sever it, if that makes sense. But I mean, obviously, hence me doing the stream, that was not the end of it. A week after this breakup, he asked to come over to my house and talk for closure.
Okay. For the record. Test. For the record, you don't actually owe anybody any closure. This is something that I see a lot when it comes to people like breaking up. Relationships, they're like, we just need to talk one more time. You owe me closure. I need closure. How can I move on without it? You don't really owe anybody that, You're allowed to take control of your own life and simply decide that you don't want to be a part of somebody else's anymore. And they have to cope with that on their own. You don't have to continue to give them your space. Also, Chano was back. Technically new in a way. So I'm going to knock out these 5 customers real quick. I have to. Anybody can become a member, by the way. It's literally $1. But if you're in a situation where you have to break up with somebody or somebody breaks up with you, I know that closure is nice, but you are not owed it. Hold on. Don't look at my bottom. Stay fit, friends. Take care of yourself. Okay. So what we're about to get to is... This a week or so after the breakup, he wants to meet up with her. One last conversation. I just need to explain to you. I need you to explain to me. I need closure.
He came to my house, and I was crying like crazy because the emotions were just very high because I was dealing with a lot of major shifts in my life as a result of me attempting to try to distance myself from him. So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then...
I'm already uneasy. So this is after they broke it up. And this is the closure conversation. She's crying a lot. She's emotional, probably talking about how or why their relationship ended. She's crying. Not just crying. She says she's sobbing. And he's kissing her face. Why are you kissing? She's sobbing. Okay. All right. Okay. You could just hug her.
And I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then, suddenly, he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And, I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go. And he immediately left my house while I was still crying without checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Ew. Okay. All right. Yeah, it's even worse than I thought. Fuck. Okay. They're broken up at this point, and he's over talking to her, looking for closure. This is the closure he's looking for. He asked for closure. She's sobbing. He starts kissing her. She allows it. And then he tries to get on top of her and put his hand in her pants. Crazy. I saw people talking about like this specific situation, and I didn't know that it was like after they broke up, and I didn't know that it was like that she was like crying during it before that even happened. Sick shit, dog. Really, really gross. Really gross. How is there still so much time left in this video? This is awful. I'm really interested to see how he responded to this in under 24 hours. Like, this specific bit. The girl's in shambles and you're trying to jump on her. Yeah. How do tears not turn you off, bro? Like, what are we doing? I would really, the only thing you could want or expect as a Mizkif fan is for him to be like, that didn't happen. Anything outside of that is like, oh, well, I guess your career is over and maybe you should be jailed. I don't know what else to do with him. I don't know what else to do with him. This shit is awful.
Of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like, making things weird for viewers. I know that probably sounds crazy, but like I just felt this pressure, like I had to try to keep things together, if that makes
It does sound crazy. Her saying that she has to try and like keep it together, like for the audience, for the viewers, so it's not like awkward. Really unfortunate position to be in. I'm also tripping off the bit like I've been in a position where I tried to kiss somebody, but then it turns out that like maybe it wasn't the best time to try and kiss them. But then like the normal thing to do was like, talk about it. Oh, my bad. But, like just jumping up and leaving is crazy. I feel skeeved. I feel skeeved out, dog.
sense. I felt like I'd cause trouble for so many other people if I ever said anything bad about him, or if I caused rifts in our friend group or streamer group. I tried to stay on good terms with him and hold everything in, and also I still cared about him a lot, and I still at that point had hope that things would get better, and that he would improve. And he'd also always hammer into me how he never physically abused me because he never hit me, and he would coach me and tell me to tell people or other streamers who were asking about it.
He said he never abused her because he never hit her. So I wasn't hitting you. I hit you with things. I don't think that one's gonna hold up, buddy.
Because they were concerned. He would say, tell them that I never hit you. Make sure that they know that I never hit you. Around the same time, this was during OnlyFans 2, so I guess like December-ish. He would often message me in the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him. And again, like I said earlier...
Sorry. Sorry. He would message her in the middle of streams and get mad at her for the class that she used because people would think she's better than him. Like at the video game. Hold on.
In the middle of my streams and berate me for things like playing the same class as him in WoW because he thought it would make people think that I was better than him.
But like, if you were though, like, would that be so bad? Would that be so bad if you were better than him at like World of Warcraft?
And again, like I said earlier, I felt like I was stuck in a constant loop where I had to perform well to not be thrown away. But if I performed too well, I was going to be punished. And I actually wanted to show some of those messages.
Oh, let's go. Okay. All right. We got the messages. Lock in.
Because obviously a lot of these things, yeah, I'm not gonna fully read these out because I honestly just don't want to read them out, but I feel like I want to show them to like kind of show what I'm saying. And
Well, I'm about to be squinting like hell.
I'm planning to probably post the VOD of this somewhere, so if, you know, you want to read this later, that's fine, I guess. And again, this was all happening while I was live. You can literally go find the stream and see me, trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon.
While I'm live in the middle of a dungeon.
See me, trying to deal with this while I'm live in the middle of a dungeon. Trying to just play the fucking game.
Emmy, stop moving it. Okay. Tank, Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the critique. Quote, you're worse than Emmy. Quote, Emmy is so much better. People saying you're better in every chat. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you to not become a tank and you didn't listen. And now the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. Y'all gotta help me, dog. Is the tank? Is tank like a class? I'm assuming that's like a class of character or something. He doesn't want her to be a tank. Okay. People are hating on me. They think you're better than me. Yeah, also the spamming. The back-to-back messages kind of reeks of somebody that is trying to bombard you, trying to overwhelm you. It's just video game stuff. It's a role you play in combat. Okay.
Oh fuck, I think I...
She says, dude. He's like, don't dude me. I asked for one thing with you. Don't be a tank. And now you're tanking. What can I do? Emmy says, what the fuck am I supposed to do? Mizkif says, don't take. Yup, there it is. I'm playing the game. Tank Emmy. He really doesn't want her to be a tank. Derek, not a gamer confirmed. Not this kind of game. Not this kind of game. Bro's pissed. Bro's pissed that that she's the tank class. Dude, people are gonna think I suck at this game. Why can't she be a little bit better than you? It's okay. It's alright. 0 durability, man. What's the tank?
Tank Emmy, do it. Let me handle all the hate, the criticism, that you're worse than Emmy's. The Emmy is so much better. The people saying you're better in every chat. The comparison says nobody will ever be on my side. Let me deal with it. You have fun. I asked you not to become a tank. You didn't listen. And now it's the classic, what was I supposed to do? I'm not dealing with this. And like I said, you can go find the stream. But for context, I was playing Warrior in World of Warcraft in like a level 24 dungeon. It was like Silverpine. Like it was just like, it wasn't even like, it was like dog shit gameplay, I'm gonna be honest.
She's like, it wasn't even peak gameplay. The language she's speaking, I'm not super familiar with. I'm not gonna lie. She's like, the dungeon I was in, the level I was on, wasn't even like peak gaming. He is spazzing over mid gameplay at best.
Like, so, yeah.
I can't believe this was a real argument that they had.
Yeah, you can read that later, I suppose, if yeah, like I said before, hold on. I was constantly trying so hard to compromise with him because I wanted to be cool and I wanted us to be able to coexist in the same streaming sphere. But I felt like I could never win, and he hated my whole existence, like ever since that one stream where I had like a little bit more viewers than him. And he would say that it was my fault that his stream was dying because most of his viewers liked me, and whenever he hit on another girl, they would be confused or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
He was trying to convince her that he had to hit on other girls to save his career. I guess because he felt like their audience had a lot of overlap, then he would need to, like, I don't know, he would be able to like garner a bigger, more like widespread fan base that wasn't just a fan of him because he was with her, so he had to flirt with other girls, huh?
Or not take it seriously because they knew that me and him were together privately. And he said if he would be able to hit on other girls and convince them that it was real, he would get his career back.
Okay.
That was like started within the last couple of weeks that we spoke to each other. He started saying terrible things to me about other streamers in Austin. In particular, one specific streamer who I know there's a lot of people that know he has beef with certain streamers. It was not one of those streamers. It was someone who to this day has been nothing but nice to him. He would say horrible things about this person, like about them in their stream, and it was very hard to listen to.
Damn.
And just in general, he would say horrible things about other streamers in Austin, like, I quote, "I hate everyone here. You are all useless to me. You're worthless to me because it does nothing for my stream anymore to collab with any of you." And him saying that was the final straw for me. The day that he said that to me about other people was the first day that I ever, for the first time, started to ignore his calls and messages. And because of that, he even threatened to come to my house if I didn't answer. But I did end up calling him back, and I spoke to him, and I basically told him that I felt like I could finally see things for what they were. And he started panicking, and he was super apologetic, and he was saying he didn't want to lose me, which wasn't the first time that he like did something like that and was like, you know, basically begging me not to leave. But that was definitely the most extreme time. And again, like I said, I always had the hope that things would be cordial, or that, you know, we could be fine with each other, so.
Oh, word. Mizkif once said on live, I felt bad because she had more viewers, but then XQC talked to me and told me women on streams have a glass ceiling, and that made me feel better. Well, XQC barely knows English, so it doesn't surprise me that he would say something so strange and misguided.
I agreed, and we agreed we were going to talk about all of that. We talked about it about a week later, and instead of apologizing for anything, he basically told me that he realized he needed to go to Japan and LA to get his viewership back up, and he was basically too young to focus on friendships and relationships.
He was too young to focus on friendships and relationships? Hold on. I should have looked this up. How old is... Mizkif is 30? Grown man. How old is... She's 27. Okay. This is a valid question. I imagine, you know... I mean, they clearly have a bit in common. They're both chronically online. They both enjoy gaming. Same area. Convenient relationship. You know? Yo, shout out to Cow something. Hey, appreciate you. I gotta knock out 5 more push-ups. That's just what I do. I appreciate you. Hold on. Couldn't do this without the members. Oh. Light work, really. Light work. Appreciate you. So yeah, it sounds like he's a very business-oriented guy. These people don't help me with the numbers. They're trash. They're useless to me. We have to go to LA. I have to get my career back. I have to flirt with other women so I can get my numbers up. You can't go live the same time as me because people will choose you. It's, you know, I'm noticing the pattern.
And it was I mean, despite everything, like I said, I still cared about him, so it was still hard. And I mean, it was like a mix of feelings, you know, like I was devastated, but I was also so relieved. But because of the past incidents during like other fights and times I would try to separate myself from him, past incidents during those times of him manipulating me into staying close with him and giving him more chances, sexually assaulting me, the abuse, and just him generally not being a very nice person. After that, I decided that the only solution and way for me to move forward, I made the hard decision, but I know now for sure the right one, was to finally completely cut contact with him. I knew it'd be very hard because our careers and our communities were so intertwined, but I knew that I had to do it and that there was no other choice. So I have not spoken to him since January of this year.
Wow. Oh my god, it's October now. Okay, so they haven't talked in like damn. They haven't talked in like 9-10 months. And then she came out here and just nuked this shit. What is done in darkness will come to light.
It's been 10 months. But you think that's the end? It is unfortunately not. I haven't spoken to him since January of this year.
How on earth is there more?
It only took a couple of weeks, but soon the messages started. He has attempted to contact me over 40 times individually this year in individual texts, Discord messages, Instagram DMs, and phone calls. And
He's tried to hit her up 40 times. 40? The man is averaging 40! It's crazy.
I'm just gonna show those.
Show him.
And at first, it started simple. Be confusing messages or like him expressing he was worried about things. Like, at first it wasn't anything weird.
Oh my goodness. 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 Emmy, can we please talk? I really need to tell you things. I understand. We'll leave you alone. I know you don't want to hear from me, but I can't just not message you. Please call me. I haven't stopped thinking about you in months. I know what I want, and it's you, and it's only you. It's been nothing but miserable without you. I love you, Emmy. I want us to go on dates, to live together, to plan our lives. I want so much. Oh my god, brother. Oh, brother. I want so much with you. Please just hear me out. I wrote out a lot of how I felt. I've been writing so much. I've learned so much about myself. I will do anything for you. Oh my god.
This is not someone who loves or cares about you.
This is a crazy amount of messages. Can you please answer my phone? We got text. We got Discord. We got what looked like IG for a second there. You are the love of my life every night. Ha da 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 da. Oh yeah, there's the response to her Instagram stories. Okay, this shit is crazy. Oh, there's so much.
And keep in mind, this is only things that he sent to me. I can't document all the things that people told me that he was saying. And it's just kind of a funny side note.
You blocked me.
I guess. I would like to highlight this message because it doesn't really matter, but I ran it through a ChatGPT checker and all the highlights. Like I said, doesn't really matter. I just thought it was interesting.
Okay. All right. It probably doesn't matter, but that's pretty silly.
But
That's crazy.
yeah.
No, those are full on essays. I'm not gonna read all those, but the Chat GPT checker is pretty funny.
Like I said at first, the messages were just simple things, like him saying he was worried about things or saying no one was talking to him, which I don't think was even true at the time. I think he was just saying that to try to guilt me into responding to him. I'm not sure about that, of course. This also extended to in-person interactions, because initially I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through private communication and, you know, we would be fine going to the same events and parties and such. I also had to start... Hold on, I'm still fucking sick. I made the mistake of thinking that I only had to cut him off through personal, private communication.
Definitely
but I also had to start avoiding going to the same parties or places I was worried he'd be in person. Because this was after he came back from his first trip to Japan. There was a party that I attended several months after I first went into contact with him. I was aware that he would be there, and I thought it'd be fine. I thought it wouldn't be a big deal. I thought I'll just let him have his space. I'll have my space. You know, it's not a big deal. We're adults, right?
Right. So we thought.
During this party, I felt like he was following me around and monitoring me, but I thought that I was just being paranoid. I was like, it's probably just in your head. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and a couple other friends. And at some point, Nick was like, it's too fucking loud down here. Let's go upstairs. No one's upstairs. Let's just go, you know, chill in a room and like talk where it's not so loud. And I was like, okay.
You could tell it's taking a lot for her to get through this, because I don't know how many of you all remembered me saying this or were just like aware of it. This is on 1.3 speed. So she's really having to gather herself a lot to get through this. Takes a lot of strength to do this. I'm pretty sure. Also, I don't even think there's any like cuts in this. This is straight off top. I mean, she has her notes and everything, but this takes a certain level of strength, man. I've never presented something like this in a setting like this.
So they, as a group, went upstairs first without me, but it took me a bit longer to get up there because someone like stopped me and was talking to me, and I did feel like, I mean, he was like standing pretty close to that person. I felt like he was watching me, but again, I thought I was just being paranoid. But I went upstairs. I was hanging out with Nick and Kachi and, you know, our other friends. And then about 30 minutes later, the room that we're in, the door opens. It's Miz. He opens the door, makes eye contact with me, goes, ooh, and then closes the door and leaves. And I was like, what the fuck? But again, I was still trying my best to, you know, give the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know, maybe it's just like an awkward situation or something. But a couple months later, the person that he was hanging out with that night reached out to me privately and was apologizing. And I was like, why? And they're like, I just felt like I had to apologize to you because I felt so bad and so embarrassed of what was going on. Like, yes, he wanted to see what you were doing. He was saying, like, I want to go see what's upstairs. And he was checking every room. And then after he opened the room that you were in with Nick, he closed the door and started laughing. And then he just wanted to talk about, you know, how you guys broke up for the next, like, however many hours of the night.
Pathetic.
So I was like, wow.
Brother's literally frequenting parties that she was at and just searching rooms for her. Ugh.
Okay, that's good to know, I guess. The next story that I want to tell involves what happened to me, Valkyrie, and Cinna earlier this year when we were attacked at the Santa Monica Pier.
Oh, yeah. You all might know about this, you might not. I remember, like, her and these two other girls, the three of them look kind of similar. I don't know, whatever, who cares? They were getting stalked and followed by this, like, creepy dude on the pier. So I think that's what she's referring to.
Because that was obviously.
Dude, it has been a rough year for this girl. But between that thing happening on the pier and then the dude running up on her and trying to kiss her at TwitchCon and all of this Mizkif stuff, Jesus Christ, dude. I might never leave my house.
Let me close all these fucking texts. I don't want to look at them. They're still on my desktop. Where was I? A lot of people were talking about how me, Ray, and Cinna were attacked. Which was not an issue. Like, we had no issue with that. Like, obviously, it's big news. People are gonna talk about it. It should be talked about. We had, like, no issues with anyone talking about it and covering it, and that included him. I was fine with that. He joined in on that whole thing of people going live to talk about it. And again, I'd like to remind people at this point, we were already a couple months into me being no contact with him, making it clear I didn't want anything to do with him. And so during this stream, he was covering what happened to me, Ray, and Cinna. He decided that he was going to tell more of my personal stalker stories that I've never personally talked about or shared publicly myself.
Why?
And one of these stories was one that, like, no one knew at all, and, like, it just felt so shitty because at the time that those things happened, like, you know, all the people that lived in that area together, we all came together and we all kind of decided, and this was heavily pushed by him, we should never talk about this because, you know, people are gonna be weird, it puts Emmy in more danger, and, you know, gives people ideas, so we're never gonna talk about it. But, you know, of course, as soon as there's some big drama that he's not involved in, and he finds a way to, you know, bring up, oh, I was there for something that happened to Emmy, he does it.
So earlier this year, she was involved in this incident where her and Valkyrie and Cinna, these two other female streamers, they were, like, being stalked and followed or whatever. Incident happened. You know how YouTubers and streamers get. Everybody's got to have a take. So Mizkif, even though he has, you know, she's been avoiding him at all costs and completely ignoring him. Not only does he go to talk about her incident, but Mizkif also decides to share personal details about another stalking incident that she had that they had already agreed to never, like, really make public because it would give out personal information or make things less safe for her. But he's like, fuck it, I gotta get this content off. So, you know, just more fantastic behavior from the ex-boyfriend.
He was on a stream talking about these personal stories of mine, and I caught wind of it. And by the way, it was also so frustrating not saying anything at this time because the way he told those stories, he kind of framed himself as, like, the hero. He was like, oh, I held the stalker at gunpoint. No. The only person who ever came into contact face-to-face with that stalker before the police came was Bonnie. Bonnie is the person who found that guy outside, went inside, told everyone, called the police. The police came. All Miz did was he stood far away from the front door, behind glass and metal, with a gun. Yeah, I mean, I understand. Damn. Still very scary, but why are you acting like you, like, if anyone deserves credit for that, it's Bonnie. Like, it's literally stolen valor. I'm so glad.
Stolen valor? Yo, she really fired that one just off the dome. It's really stolen valor. You weren't even there like that. Tried to paint herself as the hero. Ridiculous.
I finally get to say that because she is the one who, like, kept everyone in those two houses safe, not him. Anyway, back to the original thing, the Ray and Cinna stuff. I was obviously panicking. Like, I just had this horrible thing happen to me the night before. It was, like, huge, like, public, millions of people seeing it. And then my crazy ex-boyfriend is going live talking about more of my personal stuff. And I'm, like, crying, and Cinna and Ray are like, what's wrong? And I tell them, and I'm, like, panicking. I'm like, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so, I need to call so-and-so. Like, these different people that I was like, they can contact him because I did not want to contact him. So, Ray, Cinna, some of me and Miz's mutual business partners, and Asmongold were all messaging him to stop. And by the way, Asmongold told me that he tried to call Miz while he was talking, and it rang 3 times and then hung up, which means that he saw it, and he just wanted to be able to keep talking because, yeah, anyway.
Bro's really trying to get more quick bucks off his ex's despair. Tough. It's like every wrong move he could possibly make. all of the things that you shouldn't do after you break up, it feels like he's done. Beg to get her back, tell personal stories about personal details about her. Asmongold is a weirdo too. Yeah, he's begs to get her back, tries to love bomb her, follows her, stalks her, tells stories about her, shares personal information. Brother, let it go.
Just a little note. I don't know exactly what like the other people said to him, but Ray and Senna told me that they were messaging him being like, bro, like stop, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? And he was messaging them, who were also equally as traumatized as me, of course. They had gone through the same thing. Oh, what am I doing wrong? I'm letting people know what, girls go through. Was that your job? Well, anyway, yeah, that all happened.
Where are we at in this? Yep, we got around 15 minutes left in this, and then we get to see his response. And before we get to his response, we're gonna come up with a list of things, Chathu, you can help, that we are hoping that he addresses in his response.
A couple of months into me being no contact with him, and yeah, he was arguing with Ray and Senna while they're trying to be like, bro, like stop, like you're making it worse. He finished talking about my stuff and then reacted to Senna and Ray's whole stream where they were crying, addressing their communities, made sure to react to that, and then immediately went offline. So yeah, that was a terrible weekend. I got threatened to be stabbed, and then the next day, my weird ex was going live trying to self-insert so that he could make sure to farm his own clips.
My God.
After that incident, his attempts to talk to me only ramped up, which I showed those texts. We went back to Japan, and during that trip, he was texting, calling me, trying to call me quite a lot, begging me to take him back. And at the same time, I heard that he was reaching out to quite a few other streamers who know both of us. And he was crying to them about how he wanted to get back together and how he thought someday we would reconnect and eventually get married. I don't think he even meant that, but I hope not. But I assume he did that with the hope that they would relay the messages back to me since I wasn't talking to him.
Telling your ex's friends that you think that you're gonna get back with them and marry them at some point? Yuck.
And, some of them did. I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream, like watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year. And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. And be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me. Just really fucking gross stuff like that.
She's probably waiting for me.
And a couple of streamers in LA also told me that he was telling people that me and him still talk all the time, but we simply weren't together anymore because I was too mature and I was not ready. I was too immature. But yeah, you couldn't see from the messages I showed. I'm not sure if
so he said the reason they're not together is because she was too immature. She was too immature and she wasn't ready, but he also thinks they're gonna get back together and he's gonna marry her and he would do anything to have her back, but they're also not together because she's not ready. Okay, all right, word. Heard. Got it. Word. Yo, shout out for the 69. Shout out to you. Member for 13 months, that's huge. You get the official Derapy logo badge. I have more swag in my non-existent cattail than this guy has had his whole career. Word. Well said. He lies. He lies!
people can go back and read them. He was begging me to take him back for the majority of this year, which was 7 or 8 months total. And like I said, some of the messages were even I believe ChatGPT. Not that it really matters. It's just interesting, right? As of today, it's been about 2 months since he has attempted to contact me directly.
Nice.
I think because about 2 months ago is when he started kind of getting scared that I might have been like, you know, telling people things, which again, I wasn't going on my way to do it, but if anyone ever asked me, I wasn't gonna lie to them. I mentioned this at the beginning before I started like fully telling the story. I heard from my friends, other streamers, and my employees that he had cooked up a plot that if I ever tried to talk about him, like about the abuse or anything else, he would try to go live and say that I killed my rabbits. And I was told that he approached several streamers who were around us a lot when we lived together and asked if they would basically back him up, and they refused. Obviously, they're not insane. And
Yo, shout out Capper that said, play Instant Crush Daft Punk when you're ready. For sure, absolutely, as a bit of a palate cleanser. So yeah, in case you got in late, early on in this video of her, she talks about how he was telling people behind the scenes that if she comes out about this stuff, he will tell people that she killed her rabbits, which sounds crazy, but also considering some of the tweets that I saw before I watched either of these videos, I'm pretty sure he actually ended up doing it, which is like, I'm really interested to see how that like negates or deflects away from any of what we have heard so far. I feel like, you know, I don't know. I'm really, really interested to see how he's gonna present this stuff as like counter evidence to what she's presented. She's like, yeah, he hit me up like 50 times and he assaulted me and he was controlling my life. And he's gonna be like, but these rabbits, let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I feel like that would be the one thing that I wouldn't put in the response if I knew that she said I was going to. But, you know, I assume we're getting towards the end here.
even something happened this weekend at TwitchCon. One of my employees told me he went up to them and he threatened them, saying, "If Emmy ever tries to talk about me, I will destroy her." Whatever that means.
I will destroy her.
And
brother is actually evil. He's out here like Darth Vader. If she speaks on me, it will be the end for her. I will destroy her. I don't know, man. I don't know. We're gonna check some numbers and some responses and some comments, and we'll see where the people stand. We're gonna give him his due, though. He's got his own 30-minute video. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna see what he's talking about.
within the same night, he also texted one of my best friends, and he would have known that I would have been with this girl. He texted her saying, "Hey, worried about her. Hope she's okay." You know, right after he just said to my employee and other people that he was gonna try to destroy my life. Yeah, all in the same night. And, yeah, that was Saturday, so that pretty much leads us to today. I feel like it's clear I've spent the last year of my life cutting him off and building a new life with people that actually care about me and doing my best to move on peacefully without causing any drama. I did not want to do this. A lot of other creators actually told me that after his other allegations in 2022, if I wasn't the first person to stand up for him and start appearing on his channel again, they do not think that they would have gone back to helping him with his content. So I always tried to keep things private, always tried to make things better, had hope that things would get better, you know, tried to be supportive, and my thanks that I got for all of that was abuse and resentment, and for all of 2025, all of this year, harassment and hatred from him and his community, while he was the whole time secretly begging for me to take him back behind the scenes. I've taken a lot of steps already, as I said, it's apparent. I've taken a lot of steps to restructure my life and be a lot more careful about who I help and who I invest my time and my care into. And I'm doing a lot better now, but I felt like this was a necessary strain because, like I said at the very beginning, I have heard that he has done things to other people that aligned with some of my own experiences, so I felt like it would be wrong for me to keep holding on to all this information.
I feel like this was really well done. I feel like this is about as good as this could have been presented. I have over the course of like my 15 to 16 years as just a consumer of YouTube content, I've seen a lot of people spend a lot of time talking about other creators or experiences that they've had with people, and it always comes off as like really spiteful or rushed or like, I mean, not to say that like being over emotional would be bad in a situation like this, but considering the content that we're discussing, and by content I don't mean like online content, I mean like the content of her situation. It's honestly extremely impressive that she was able to put out like an hour and a half video where she goes into pretty explicit detail about this experience, and it still doesn't come off as like vindictive or I want to ruin this man's life or he's had it coming. It's more of just like, didn't even really want to do this, but he spent the better part of a year like not leaving me alone and telling people that he would destroy me, and now it seems like he's destroying somebody else. Yeah, this is a good way to put it. She's very matter of fact about it, which kind of makes it hard for me not to look at it and just be like, I mean, it sounds like she's kind of just sharing her experience. So yeah, I like this. If it has to be done, you know, I think that this is about as clear and concise as it's gonna get. Definitely helps that she types it out. I would hope that you wouldn't go in a situation like this without, you know, without a lot of prep time done. She really came out here like Batman with it.
I know I stayed for way too long, and I thought that I could help, and I unfortunately learned that I couldn't. But I worked really hard to have the life that I have now with my friends, my family, my pets, and my community, and I'm so grateful for how things are now. It was very difficult, but I'm very proud of myself for making the choices that I did to end up where I am now. And yeah, that's my story of dealing with abuse, psychological and domestic abuse.
In an instant.
All right. Thanks, Emiru. Appreciate you. All right, Chathu. Here's what I'm going to ask of you, because I actually do have the response. And I have the response from Mizkif, from the guy, from the man, from the boy. He has 1 million subscribers of his own. He released this on October 26th, which is yesterday. Within a day, he responded with the truth. Now, do I think that he really embraced every aspect of what we just heard? I don't know. The likes are turned off. The title is look at the description. #Mizkif, #Mizkif. All right, buddy. We know it's you. We know it's you. This is the most like YouTuber addressing drama title you're gonna look at this. The truth. ... I think that he really views this as just like, you know, another piece of content. Now, I wanna do something with you all. I don't even care about his side talk about Drake. What does he need to address in order for this video to be successful at all? You all help me out. What did she accuse him of exactly? What did he do? Threw things at her. Sexual assault. Black eye. Following her, slamming, and breaking doors. There's a lot. There's a lot. Blackmail. Oh yeah, sucking at World of Warcraft. I'd love to hear him talk about the tank stuff. I totally forgot about that. I'm really curious to see like how far into this video of his are we gonna get before we realize that he didn't even watch our full video. Oh yeah. Threatening to quit life over Mr. Beast video. driving 150 miles per hour. There's a lot. There's a lot. Here we go. I'm ready to judge. He admits to everything and tries to play victim. I'll believe it when I see it. No shot he just says that it's all true. All right, here we go. I'm going to try and show as much grace as humanly possible, even though it's almost certain that this guy is horrible. Let's see how the video begins.
Is this goodbye? No, it's not goodbye. Not at all. Explain yourself? I will. There's some people that are saying some pretty crazy things. I haven't even gone on Twitter. I saw other things and I'm like, damn. But I've been around for 10 years now. A lot of you guys...
Is this just like a chopped up stream? It's so highly edited. There's so many cuts in just the first 10 seconds.
No, pretty far away from this stuff at this point, but I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious. I will not be friends with any of these people after this.
Oh. Wow, it sounds like he's gonna do the exact thing that she was talking about. He's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna expose everything. Everyone's getting exposed. Shit start. Not good at all.
No, pretty far away from this stuff at this point, but I am totally okay with exposing a lot of things and saying things. At this point, I think it's pretty obvious. I will not be friends with any of these people after this.
For the record, all these people that have been talking about, I'm not friends with them. They're not my friends. We're not friends anymore.
Big was right. I am going to completely separate myself from these people in this community, which is fine.
Why does he have his text-to-speech on? So if you're if you're like somebody that's if you Twitch stream, if somebody like donates or subs or whatever, like they can have their message played. If he's like addressing these allegations, like maybe you shouldn't have that on. I don't know. It's like me not having my phone on Do Not Disturb when I go live. Like I have like 100 viewers. This dude gets thousands, hundreds. Like, can we please be serious?
And I've already been doing it, but I have hundreds of messages and DMs from people, things that people probably would never want to get released that are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on, because why not? Before that, I would like to...
Oh my God, listen to this.
Interesting for everyone, and I will be from people, things that people probably would never want to get released.
Things that people would probably never want to get released.
That are very interesting for everyone, and I will be releasing it as time goes on.
I am going to expose everybody. Can we please talk about Emiru? Please.
Because why not? Before that, I would like to address everything that was said today. I wrote this myself, so I don't know if it's even good. I am not the best writer, as a lot of you know. I have half my screen right now is red because I can't write for shit. It's not through ChatGPT. Shut up. So.
Look, it's okay for me to laugh and joke about you using ChatGPT. Can you please be serious? Please. Derapy, I'm not exaggerating. Get ready for him to admit to everything. No, I don't believe it. There's no way he's gonna do that.
This is April of 2021. We met online when we were playing AT&T Annihilator Cup. This is me and Emmy. I was introduced to her through it, and my chat started to like us hanging out. I didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends. So we met through the... Didn't have feelings for her or anything, but I thought we could start hanging out more and be friends.
Okay.
So we met through the Annihilator Cup. A lot of you guys know this. I was playing with her. My chat liked her a lot. She was fun to hang out with, so we started hanging out. We started to play games with each other on stream, and we started to grow closer together. We started calling each other, and we were flirting. We didn't do anything, but it was pretty obvious that Emiru had feelings for me as well as I had for her. But we couldn't really do anything because at the time, she was dating a girl named Bonnie, another cosplayer from another state, and I was dating Maya. Me and Maya broke up. I broke up with her because the relationship felt stagnant, and Maya's sanctuary started to take over a lot of her life, and we hardly had time to hang out with each other. Since Maya moved out, I knew I wanted a streamer to move into the house, preferably a girl to farm content with, but I didn't want it to happen.
Preferably a girl to farm content with. Okay, he's being open about the fact that he's just using women to farm content. Okay, based, honest, transparent.
Happened so fast. I didn't know if I wanted to be Emmy, but she told me about a stalker that came to her house with a bat, and she didn't live at her house anymore. I told her to come move in with me in Austin because she had a stalker, and we want to make content, and the guy will probably be scared since there's a bunch of people around instead of her in her Kansas home by herself. From there, our relationship started growing very fast.
Wait, also, by the way, I love how like, all the allegations against him are about like how unsafe he made her, and he literally He's like, she moved into my house so she could get away from the stalker, so she could be safer, just for him to ruin her. Jesus Christ, dude.
Within just weeks of moving in, she would sit in my room with me late at night, and I would watch Pokemon over and over again, season 1. I loved it because she made me feel like it felt like my childhood and a place of calmness.
What are we talking about?
She would fall asleep in my bed. With some nights, we would touch our backs or legs together. We knew we liked each other. We just knew it was a bad idea. Talks of her joining OTK happened fast as well. And I knew that if we were potentially going to date, we'd have to keep it a secret. Nobody was allowed to know. Streamers as well were already starting to resent me, saying that it was a shitty thing that I moved Emmy in so fast and replaced Maya so quickly. If people found out we were dating, I could be hated by my peers and lose what I created in OTK. I didn't know if we were going to date, and I knew if we were going to make it happen, it was going to be very stressful. But I had no idea what was going to come. It was the beginning of January of 2022. Emmy just had her huge party in an arcade celebrating her birthday on stream. Everyone from Austin was there, and as we were celebrating her joining OTK, there was a huge scare. Someone outside in the parking lot rammed into my Audi R8 and drove off. And while we were out...
What the fuck is he talking about? Somebody rammed into my Audi R8. It's a nice car. It's very upset about it. Where are we going with this?
Outside thinking it was a schizo viewer, we were told that the person who just hit my car was now inside holding a gun. This scared us to no end. Me and Connery's pants ran inside in fear to get everyone out and make sure everything is okay. My first concern was Emmy. I wanted her to be safe. The cops came, the drunk driver did have a gun, and was sentenced to 3 to 5 years in prison. Me and Emmy were terrified that night. And on the way home, I grabbed her hand, and she grabbed mine, and we knew we were trauma bonded, and we didn't want to let go.
Is this a joke? Is this the real response? A drunk driver hit my car. He's serving 3 to 5 years in prison. She took my hand, I took hers, and we knew we were trauma bonded. What the fuck is he talking about? She said you threw a phone at her. You were telling her what to wear. What is this? What is happening?
We'd wake up together, stream together, and hang out with each other all night.
We used to watch Pokemon together all the time. Our legs used to touch. Brother, lock in.
She quickly became my best friend and someone that I felt for the first time I was in love with. We hung out all day, every day. We were always so happy with each other. Playing games.
The TTS is insane. I'm not even gonna run it back and tell you what I just heard. Yeah. Hold on. Why is this so funny? This shouldn't be funny. Why isn't he just addressing the allegations? Look at this. Even at the top, too much story for an explanation. Rust incident. Can we talk about you being upset about her being a tank?
Until the night, loving every moment we were with each other. I remember one day I left my house. She called me just so we can be on the phone together, as we always did. And we were playing a song called Falling in Love with You with Elvis.
Get the fuck... Okay, all right. Let me crank this up a bit. Let's go time and a quarter speed. I don't know if I can do this. Can you please talk about what... Did he watch the video? Does he know what people were saying?
Came on, and I felt that love. First time I felt love for a girl, and I thought I'd want it to never let it go. The first year of our relationship, we almost had no fights. We started to date officially in January of 2022, and up until my cancellation, everything was perfect. She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened.
Okay, so... All right. 4 minutes in, we finally get him addressing something. She said that he would throw things at her and it would hurt her. He is saying that that's just like what he does in general. He just tosses stuff in her direction and it bruises her. So then he stopped. Okay. All right. Let me run that back. I just want to make sure I heard that right.
She brushed over that I threw water bottles or my phone near her, but that wasn't during fights. I want to make that very clear. It would be me throwing my...
We were fighting, but I wasn't throwing things during the fights. I was throwing things outside of the fights that happened to hurt her, but then I stopped. Okay, all right, okay.
My phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got a bruise from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I will throw you and show you an example, chat. I'm brushing my teeth. Right here. Look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed.
Why are you throwing your phone like that? This feels like a bit. Chat, I will show you how I casually toss my phone across the room. As you can see, it is relatively hard. It could hurt somebody, but for the record, I was not doing it out of anger. This is fucking ridiculous.
Right here, look at me. I would throw my phone on the bed. I would just lob it over because I was going to bed. So I would just throw the phone. That's it. And when that's the whole thing. I didn't throw it at her. I want to make that very clear. I never threw it at her. I never hit her. And she even said in her situation that she bruises easily. She brushed over that I threw water bottles with her on my phone near her, but that wasn't during our fights. It would be throwing my phone on my bed when I brushed my teeth. She did tell me she got bruises from it, and I stopped. That's all that happened. I did feel a lot of stress over the time of our relationship up until this point from her stalkers, from the ones that would show up at our old house, and also stalkers that just had from her TikTok postings. We found after being with each other that her stalkers had a lot from would come to her a lot from her short form content. These people were schizophrenic and would think that she is talking to them. Whether it was songs she played,
her short form content was breeding stalkers, and was breeding schizophrenic stalkers. I could not have possibly anticipated this.
way she looked at the screen or just the titles of the videos, these people started to feel she was talking to them and come to our house to stalk her. These people thought in their heads they were dating her. They were out of their mind and dangerous. I told her, if we're going to be serious about this relationship, I need her to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. She agreed and understood that it was a safety concern for not only
She's farming people with her short form content. The way she looks at the camera and the sounds she plays with her short form content, dude. I'm sorry. I'm trying to take this seriously. It's just so unserious. What are we talking about?
me, but the house. Russell, Simply, Corey, or anyone that was in my house or anyone that was near us. She agreed that she wouldn't want to hurt anyone else and knew that posting these types of TikToks and posts can mess with us and is something I'm not comfortable with as a guy. So she would tell me that if I had a problem to let her know. And at first it was minor things here and there, but over time it got harder and harder to deal with. There were more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I could get in a ton of trouble with OTK and cause a ton of problems. I told her if we were going to be serious about this relationship, I need to stop posting as much and to not farm these people. And then there was more stress on top of this. We both had to hide the relationship from everyone. If anyone found out or was known, I can get in a ton of trouble with OTK and can cause a ton of problems in my life. So I lied to all of my old friends, S-Fan included, who lived just next door to me, and everyone in OTK, and that was very hard for me to do. We had a doggy door between our rooms just so we can hide it from everyone else, including my roommates. We would lock the doors to avoid our roommates finding out. As time went on, they found out, but to most of our friends in the Austin circle, they never officially knew. That stress alone would drive anyone mad, but our love for each other was strong, and we knew we can handle it. In September in 2022...
I just hate the way this is being presented. We had to hide our relationship. Like they're star-crossed lovers or something. OTK wouldn't allow it. It would destroy our careers. But our love was so strong, we persevered. Okay. All right. Okay, man.
A lot of you guys know, I was canceled by Trainwrecks and others, trying to claim I covered up sexual assault. It was proven wrong, but that destroyed my mental health. I felt like my brain cracked, and I was never the same since. I was suicidal, depressed, and I didn't know what to do with my own life. Every day felt like an absolute nightmare. I was losing OTK, my mental health, and all my friends. Emiru was one of the only people that were there for me. She ditched sponsors to go with me to Japan. She went with me anywhere I needed because she wanted me to be happy. And she knew sometimes I freaked out, I lashed out, but she loved me and she knew I was in a terrible mental place. It got so bad, the stress and constant talking about the same things over and over and no sleep and depression, that most of my hair started to fall out and Emiru started to hurt herself while we were in Japan.
I'm getting so much just dumped on me. Okay, so first of all, if she was like harming herself in any way, I feel like that's kind of a crazy thing for like you to share. I just watched the girl talk for an hour and a half and she never mentioned that. I don't know if that's real or not, but like that's just a crazy thing to like put out about your ex this is his ex. Whatever. Okay. That's one thing. Also, the fact that it's in his script that he was balding is that's funny. That's ridiculous. I didn't need that information. But I don't know the backstory about him being canceled and the cover up that he was a part of. I can only imagine how stressful that is. I don't really understand why, like, how she becomes a victim out of that. This just feels very messy. It's very hard to follow. I'm not feeling it. Also, yeah, his chat is, I've been covering it strategically with with my own screen here, but dude, just put it in emoji only mode. Does he know how to be a streamer? That's like one of the core questions that I keep coming back to. When she was putting out her statement, it was in emoji only mode. And she had like this whole presentation and she was very chill about it. Very clear and concise. I don't know what bro is yammering about, and I don't know why he's just letting his chat just run wild, dog. Also, thank you. I have lost weight. I appreciate that.
As this time happened, I was a massive wreck. Couldn't think straight, and being that Emiru hung out with me all day, she too started to become high strung. Ugh.
She too started to become high strung. All right, what did she do?
We would yell at each other, fight, and argue all the time. Things we never once did. I felt this relationship was taking a huge strain, but I thought it could be fixed over time since things were just so amazing that first year.
He did fix his chat, it seems. He just now turned it into emoji only mode. That's good.
But I'm so gay. But as we stayed
What? What did he say?
I'm so gay.
All right. Okay. I'm so glad that this has nothing to do with me because this shit is so embarrassing. It's like, if you're like legitimately having an emotional breakdown, which I wouldn't recommend doing online, you know, in a situation like this, it might benefit you to like be honest about how you're feeling in the moment. I just feel like, you know, crying over your ex or what you've been through with them, I feel like it's just the worst time to just slip in a bit of, you know, by the way, crying is so gay. I just feel like that's not the ideal move in a situation like this. What did he say? He caught himself crying and he was like, God, I'm so gay. Couldn't be me.
But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of only mode. Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in.
What? Wait. He's bringing up rabbits. Hold on. Lock in.
I'm so gay. But as we stayed around longer, I started resenting her a lot more. You can take it out of only mode.
I started resenting her a lot more.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling.
Now the TTS is still on. Now he's saying Emiru has a lot of rabbits. We are 9 minutes in. He hasn't really debunked much of anything, and he called himself gay. The text to speech is still going, and now he's saying Emiru has a lot of rabbits. Very jarring transition, by the way. He is in fact going to do the thing. She literally said he was gonna do it. She said it at the top of her video. She said it at the end of her video. He's going to tell people that I killed my rabbits.
When she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of
The text to speech is unforgivable.
them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible. And my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you." Here is a video up close of Emiru's rabbits.
Ill, avert your eyes if you must. Yeah. The TTS is ridiculous.
These are small little mites that are inside the rabbit cage, and she didn't care. She completely neglected these animals, and I'm not going to sit around and let people say that she didn't. People who came to my house knew that they were neglected. This is an up-close view of the rabbit cage being completely disgusting and neglected. She left them to die, and I'm not going to sit here and have her pretend she didn't. It's
I'm not going to sit here and pretend that you care about these rabbits. Like, how do I say this? I don't think this is relevant. I don't think this is relevant.
Fucking disgusting.
Why didn't you do something then? Like, why didn't you? So you're there taking videos of it. Just clean. Dude, you sound so upset about these rabbits, but you didn't clean the shit. You're just taking videos. All right, dog. He goes on for half.
This
the
is a video
on
from
this?
my own
No, he
brother.
doesn't.
I didn't record this. These are mites all around her cage. I would tell her to take care of them all the time, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many died just over a year or two of being around in my house.
These aren't my rabbits. I never knew them. I don't. Am I allowed to say I don't care? I don't think I do.
Cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt bad. And
Can we? I'm gonna skip. Are we cool if I skip Chathu? Is it okay if I skip the rabbit portion? Should I care? Like I'm genuinely asking. Like should we dive into the rabbit allegations, or can I like can we move on to something that matters a little bit more? I don't know. I'm just asking. Okay. Yeah. What about Cheddar? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. We're gonna. All right. Okay. Here we go.
my brother once came over and said that if I marry her, he'll never forgive me.
This is
we played
rabbit
League
talk.
of Legends all day. And what this showed me is that I don't want her, and the smell became so bad that we started to have
Okay. The rabbit smell. Okay.
ability. Instead, these rabbits were left out. No
Rabbits.
bedding besides poop all over.
Rabbits.
Is that I don't want her to be my children's mother, and I couldn't see myself marrying.
Based on the way she treated the rabbits. I don't want her to be the mother of my children. Hold on.
all day. And what this showed me is that I don't want her to be my children's mother, and I couldn't see myself marrying her. The
But you've been texting her all year trying to get her back.
fights from these times started to get worse. I would constantly want to be farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her.
This guy, he's talking about how he would use her for content and then not want to be bothered with her right afterwards. Yeah, oof indeed.
Farther and farther from her. I would use her for content, but after stream would want to be alone. I didn't know how to break up with her or end things. She was a co-owner of my org, the only person I knew, and the strain of the relationship and hiding the relationship was really taking a toll on me. On top of that, the stalkers were getting worse. One stalker came to my house, and I had to point a gun at him for 30 minutes until the cops came. These stalkers are no joke, and the pressure from the relationship, the anger I felt, and the stalkers as a whole really made us lash out at each other. She would tell me that she doesn't realize what she's doing, that she didn't understand what she was doing wrong, but I would constantly tell her, on and off stream, that she needs to do more because these stalkers are getting worse. I know I...
So it's her fault that stalkers are showing up at your place. Yeah, the stolen valor. I had to point a gun at a man for half an hour. Okay.
wasn't perfect with my language or tone throughout this entire relationship. I know I wasn't. And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past relationships.
Stop wearing pajamas? Dress older? She's grown.
And I was aggressive at times. In regards to being controlling, I told her many things. I told her to dress older, to stop wearing pajamas, to stop talking about stalkers and schizos as a whole. Stop talking about past relationships. And yes, I didn't want her to travel without me. I also said that I didn't want her to hang out with specific people. This is because I didn't want her to get hurt. I didn't want
her to travel without me. I didn't want her hanging out with specific people. I didn't want her wearing certain things. I wanted her to dress older. I didn't want her talking about her relationships. But like, you can dress how you want. You can talk about her past relationships even though you're now broken up. This is crazy. Why would you admit this? He is admitting it. He's admitting it. Why would you do that?
Emmy to get assaulted.
As far as I didn't want her to get hurt. That's why I was controlling her.
I didn't want some man to do something to her when I'm not there, and I wanted to keep her safe. And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better, and I'm sorry. I know I was controlling, and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man. The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely fucking toxic. I told her to move out. She didn't move out on her own. I told her to move out because
I told her to move out. She would move out on her own. For the record, she wasn't running away because she was afraid of me. I kicked her ass out. Oh, what a hero. What a guy.
I wanted space, but she still wanted me around at all times. She would get upset if we didn't sleep together or if we weren't around. She always wanted me to drive over to her house, but I never wanted to because I wanted to be alone. And that increased our fights. But the stalkers continued, and I got even more stressed. They started to take pictures of me whenever I would drive to her
The stalkers, man. It's the stalkers. It's the stalkers, man.
house. They knew my every movement. I couldn't take it. Between the rabbits, the stalkers, and the overall ability to handle situations with each
Between the rabbits, the stalkers, those fucking rabbits, man. The rabbits. It was the rabbits. Again with the rabbits.
other, I knew this wouldn't last, but I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out. As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the
All right, so now he's saying that her cat was attacking Chompy, who I'm assuming is a different pet.
but I didn't know how to get out of the relationship. She did not want to move out. As for me telling Cheddar to leave my house, he was swatting at Chompy constantly and making him bleed. I not only was the one that wanted her to move out first, I was the one that wanted the cat out of the house because he was attacking my cat. Every month
Oh, her cat was attacking his cat. Y'all couldn't talk about the cat situation. The cat situation is crazy. This video is bad. Hold on, I had a list. I'm trying to see what all has been addressed. All right, throwing things at her. He says that, you know, that was just like he's just a thrower of things. He wasn't throwing them at her. This reminds me of like when Brad Taste in Music was talking about how like it's not that I was yelling at her. I just yell in general, and she just happens to be there when I'm doing it. Okay. We haven't gotten to the to the SA. We haven't gotten to the black eye. We haven't gotten to him spamming her after the relationship, or him following her to different places, or him driving 150 miles per hour. So, you know, I'm sure there's still time. We've spent a lot of time on these rabbits and cats and rabbits. Cheddar is innocent, Your Honor.
went by the last year, and our fights started to get louder. We were breaking up with each other almost weekly.
Our fights were getting louder. Just keeping track of the decibel level.
More aggressive, and shouting began to increase. I was not perfect, and I reflect on the situation's poor taste to myself. I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. Was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
She threw clothes and plushies at me, and I was putting fucking holes in the walls and slamming doors until they broke. I mean, it sounds like y'all are in a real hoedown, a real back and forth. How did he survive between the rabbit poop and the plushie throwing? This man is clearly in agony.
I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times.
Oh my god. Yes, I did say I was going to kill myself during an argument. But she also does that. This is... You'll never hear anything like this again. I can't believe this is public.
Got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression. I one time did say I was going to kill myself during an argument, but Emmy did this as well numerous times. She would constantly say she's going to kill herself in arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, She told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the situation while it was happening.
Okay, so he admits that he said he was gonna get, fuck it. We're already demonetized at this point. Who cares? This is getting age restricted. I hope you enjoy this while you're here, because it's not gonna show up in your recommended. Okay. He's like, yes, I did say I was gonna kill myself during an argument, but when a stalker showed up to our house and I had a gun pointed at him, she was talking about killing herself, but she wasn't using it as a tool against you. So, like, it's just weird for you to juxtapose these things because it sounds like they're completely different situations. You were using it as a way to get her to, like, pay attention to you or be nicer to you or get back with you or whatever. And she did it because, I don't know. I feel like those are totally different situations. I'm just listening to what he said.
In arguments, and I have a picture where while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers who came to my house while she was in Kansas, she told me she was going to kill herself out of aggression of the
Out of aggression?
situation while it was happening. This is the situation. I told her that a stalker's at the house. I'm freaking out. What is happening? Can you call me? I'll call you. I literally want to kill myself. I can't take this.
She was in fear for her life. Why would you share this though?
Anymore. I feel so alone and like a problem. Just want to show this. She was also using the I want to kill myself a lot in our situation and relationship.
I don't think that proves what you think it does.
This is while I had a gun pointed at one of her stalkers. This stalker who was at my house, his background picture was Emiru. And when he talked to the cops, he was in love with her and thought that she was talking to him. It is disgusting what these stalkers can do. I will say this. The fact that this guy came to my house and the result of it was a cop brought him down the street to a QT, which is a 7-Eleven, 15 minutes away, and that's all they did, is terrifying for these girls and terrifying for the situation in general. I knew that the relationship wasn't healthy at this point. I knew we had to end it and soon. One day, Emmy posted a very provocative picture, one that she knew I would hate, and she posted it to make me upset.
How do we prove that? One day she posted a picture. It was very provocative, and she did it knowing that those stalkers would come and punish me for it. How dare she? How dare she show herself? I'm sorry.
She admitted that she made me upset
I want to see the picture now. Chill.
with it, and we got into a heated argument, and I broke up with her. We broke up for about a month, then got back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's.
He's not going to show the picture? Sorry. Maybe I'm asking the wrong questions. I feel like the level of promiscuity that this picture is conveying kind of matters in the context of the situation. If y'all broke up over it, I feel like we should know. Can you at least describe the image? You literally dumped her over it.
A common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and—
Wait a second. Okay. Lock in. Now, this is, I believe, him talking about where she claims he sexually assaulted her. I'm pretty sure when he starts this story, he doesn't talk about like when it happened or what the context of the situation was. I seem to remember explicitly her saying that she was crying. I'm curious to see if he brings that up because I feel like that's a really important detail.
For about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with it back together because we thought we can make it work. We went to get food at BJ's, a common place where we would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months,
She said she was sobbing though. So are you saying that she lied? And you got up and you just left? I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I feel like you could have explained that a little bit better. Maybe it's me. Maybe I got him turned up too much. Maybe I'm missing something.
got scared and left the house. That's what she wanted. on her. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped.
She yelped. She yelped? You were cuddling her, you were kissing her, and then she just shrieked. And you don't know why? I feel like we could have put some more thought into this.
And I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then. But we got back together soon afterwards. And during those last few months where we were fighting, we were still fighting, but it did feel like the relationship had good progress. And we were both agreed we need to talk about our future. Since it's been 3 years, we should see what we want, and Emmy had an idea to write down everything we wanted.
All right, I'm gonna turn this back up. It's such a weird way to describe that situation. Maybe apologize to her. But I mean, she addressed it publicly, so I guess he has to respond to that part specifically publicly, but I don't know. It's odd.
On paper. I'm going to let everyone know that what I'm about to say is very true. This is exactly what happened, and she cannot argue this.
It's not just true, it's very true. Lock in.
One day, after staying over Emiru's house, Emiru made me breakfast, and she wrote down everything she wanted. She wrote she wants me to move closer to her. She wrote that she wants me to marry her, and she wants kids with me in the next 5 years. And I just looked at this letter that was staring in front of me, and I just handed her back the paper. She began to cry, and I told her, I'm sorry, I just can't do this anymore. I knew we were just beyond the point of toxicity in the relationship, that our trust had completely died, and that we had so many issues that I couldn't deal with it, and I was not mentally well. I walked away. I went to her door, and as I opened it, the last words I ever heard her say is, don't go, I love you. That week, I made flights to Japan because I didn't want to sit around and wait to possibly get back together again. I have never talked to her in person since. I have messaged her numerous times.
Oh, he says that he hasn't talked to her in person since. That scene, that picture he painted was just incredible. She wrote down all the things that she wanted of me. I handed her the paper back. I was just about to leave. The last thing that I heard her say was, I love you, don't go. Haven't seen her since. I guess, okay.
Wondering why I had been removed from OTK, Discords, and I was very scared because I didn't know what was going on. Nobody was talking to me or contacting me, and I have had so much regret. Times where I wanted to go back, times where I've drunk messaged her love letters, as you saw on stream. But after 10 months, I know we're much better off without each other. I did see her at a party once at Simply's house. The house was very small, and
okay, so you did see her. So you're like, I haven't talked to her in person since. Now let me talk to you about how I saw her. Okay, all right.
I opened the door, I said whoops, and proceeded to talk in the other room about what I possibly did wrong, and began to bawl out and be depressed because I just saw my ex-girlfriend. I want to make it very clear. I was not following her, nor lingering around her. I was with others the entire night. The house is about 2,000 square feet with about 50 people there. I, of course, was near her, but I was never following her. This year has been very hard for me, and I'm sure for her. I even went to Japan and drank every single night just to sleep. Going from being with each other for 3 years straight and trauma bonding to be completely alone is such a difficult thing for both of us. I began therapy in February of this year with EMDR therapy, something she recommended me when we were dating.
Good for you, man. Good for you, please.
I'm very happy to say that I feel better than ever, and I've gotten a lot of the stress I've had away. I've also moved from Austin myself, and I've had a lot of trauma lingering from there as a whole, and I feel a lot better from that. I truly hope nothing but the best for Emmy. I know she said a lot of these things today, and I do believe a lot of them were false, but I do hope nothing
What did she say that was false, though?
but the best for her, and I'm sorry that any of this happened. I hate that we're in this situation.
That any of this happened, but it's not like things that happen, you know? They weren't like tornadoes or fires or a plague. It wasn't like the pandy, you know? It's like stuff that you did that she said that you did. I don't know. I think it's kind of weird to kind of like more or less be trying to wrap up a situation by being like, you know, we're best without each other. I hope everything's okay, but let me tell you about this rabbit thing. Also, for the record, one time when she was really stressed out, she also said that she wanted to kill herself. I don't know.
And I hope that she can move on. We were in a toxic relationship. I saw that. I've realized over the years of 2 relationships now online that I'm a horrible boyfriend and I have a lot to work on for myself. I've been single for the past 10 months and I plan to stay that way.
I've been single for the past 10 months and I plan to stay that way. Are we gonna also address like the new person that she's saying that you're doing these things with and let her to come out about this? Imagine being rich off yapping online, still thinking your life is hard. Finally, some good news. Yeah. Being single for 10 months. That is, yeah. I have decided for the time being, I'm going to leave everybody else alone. I'm clearly a bad boyfriend. I'm not good at this. Thank you for becoming a new member. Appreciate you. As per usual, I gotta knock out like 5 push-ups. It's per usual. Don't look at my bottom. We're gonna finish this video though. I'd really love to know more about the tank stuff, the viewership. Appreciate you. Anybody can become a member. It's literally $1 or 5 or 20 or 100. I don't know. Look at the perks. It's up to you. I need him to address him being jealous of her. I need him to address the myriad of other things that I feel like we've been missing out on.
Continuing to go to therapy and work on myself, not just for me, but for the people around me. If you're wondering if it's scripted, the answer is, of course it is. I wrote it out because I cannot freeball this. This is a very serious situation. I want to make this real, and that's it. Okay? I'm going to stand up for myself. I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away. I have no plans to go away. And
No! You should probably take a little breather.
believe a lot of the situations today were absolutely exaggerated. I have dozens of photos and videos, calls and messages as well, if she has them. I have things I will be leaking over the next few days of other people, of other things. I have a lot of messages that I have.
I will be leaking more. I'm not finished. Everything's coming out. Yeah. Did your therapist tell you to do this?
That I'm going to expose as time goes on, because I do believe that this is a time to go fucking buck wild. But I want to make it very clear.
Oh my God, dude, what are we doing here? This is, I'm in therapy, trying to be better, but also I'm exposing people. It's time to go buck wild. You can't come out and be like, man, I'm really just trying to protect my mental health, but also I'm on a mission. I'm on a mission to get at everybody that's got at me. I don't think he has friends because they left him to do the stream. Sky has had someone in his life to pull the plug on the stream. Yeah. Shout out to NY Creature for the 5. Appreciate you. Truly. I just feel like we're kind of talking out of both sides of our neck right now.
When it comes to Emiru, when she says that I was getting ready to go after her and that I was going to use her rabbits against her, that was never the plan.
But it happened, though.
My plan for myself was very simple. If Emmy were to say something about me, I would say something back. That's it. I never had a plan in my life to go after her or do anything. It was if she ever said anything, I would say something as well. And that's...
But you... He's just saying that he just said that you're doing the... You're literally... My plan wasn't, if she said something, I'm going to use the rabbits against her. It's just that if she said something, I'm going to say something back and use the rabbits. You don't give a fuck about these rabbits, dog. You don't. You don't care.
Completely understandable. Can you clarify what, if anything, was said to her team at TwitchCon? I said that if she goes after me, then I will go nuclear. And that is exactly what I said. And that's what's going to happen. Because
this is nuclear? This is nuclear? This is nothing. You've done nothing.
You can't mess with me anymore. I don't have anything to lose. I'm sorry, I don't. Go after me all you want. I have nothing to lose. And I will say this proudly. Emiru abused those rabbits. She did. And if you're in Austin, Texas, and you want to say that she didn't abuse those rabbits at my house, you're lying. You know she did. She abused those rabbits and she let them outside. And it's disgusting. And I didn't want to bring this up ever. This was not something I planned on bringing up in my life. But it's something that she claims that she didn't do. And people are trying to defend her from that.
This is this is the red button. This is the red button. He's still doing it. He's doing it right now. He's doing it right now. This is, I don't know. Maybe we should investigate Rabbitgate.
Like Asmongold, where he says that one of her rabbits she took and brought around. What about the other 6 rabbits that died? As for what happened with me and Emiru, I mentally have been fucked up for years, and I'm very proud of myself for working on myself. And I think leaving Austin was the best thing, not just for me, but for everyone around me. I do believe that. I fucked up a lot, and I'm never gonna not admit that. And I realized I need to be alone. I never got kicked out of Austin, Texas. I left myself. I'm absolutely mentally fucked. I have been slowly working on it. I do feel like I've been getting better. I feel like I'm very calm right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel like
I feel like I'm very calm right now. I don't feel stressed. You were just crying. We just watched it. We just watched you have a breakdown.
angry. I feel that I'm calm right now. I don't feel stressed. I don't even feel angry. I feel that every day I'm trying to learn more and more and do better. But I'm going to stand up for myself in a lot of these situations because a lot of it was not true. And I don't like that she was portraying that it was just me who was at fault. It was a toxic relationship, and that's what it was. Why was viewership so important? I will bluntly say this, and I'm very honest. I was, and I still am, but I very much was someone that was massively obsessed with streaming. And
okay, he's addressing the tank allegations.
Viewership. And when my cancellation happened, and even before it, I mean, it's something you guys know. I've been massively obsessed with streaming and viewership over the years, and it's disgusting and it has ruined my fucking life. It is something that I am envious of others. I am angry at others because of it. It makes me jealous when I see others doing well, and it has made me realize that I am I'm never happy for someone else if they're doing much better than me. You guys know this is true if you watch my old stream. I've always been this way. I've been very envious of other people, and it's a problem. It's a serious. I'm definitely way better than I was now, or I am now, but it's a serious problem that I am still working on to this day. I am not perfect, and I fucked up with that. I've been this way for a very fucking long time, where I'm a competitive dude, and I think I'm very competitive with streaming because I really care about it a lot. I've sunk my whole life into this thing.
But why are you competitive? Why were you competitive with her though? Like, why were you unable to be happy for her success? Like, that's like, I'm genuinely curious about that.
Did you really drive 150 miles an hour? I'm going to say this very clear. If you know me in Austin, Texas, I drive fast everywhere. I drive fast literally everywhere.
Oh my God. It's It's not that I drove fast because I wasn't in the Mr. Beast video or that I wanted to scare her or anything. I'm just a fast driver. I just drive everywhere. I just drive everywhere. It's not that I was throwing things at her. I just throw things in general. I wasn't yelling at her, but I will say that the decibel level of the fights increased. And I was a part of them. I'm in an Audi R8 in Austin, Texas, where the freeways are open. I drive fast all the time. I remember one time when she was picking me up from the airport, and she was in her blue Corvette, and she started the speed when we were on a straightaway when she was getting mad, and she stayed quiet. I don't remember the exact speed she got up to, but we were definitely flying. Also, for the record, she also drives fast. I have an Audi R8. She has a blue Corvette. By the way, we're both extremely rich. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that. Fuck you, man. I have no problem admitting fault. The person that I was during that relationship, and I would say the Mizkif in Austin, Texas, is fucking disgusting. I hated myself. I hated this person that just sat there all day, stressed and angry and mad at the fucking world. I hated being this upset person because I know you are who you hang out with. And I definitely changed Emmy in a lot of ways and made her very stressed as well and mentally, the situations we were in, it just cataclysmed both of us. I was a very toxic person, and I knew I needed to get out, so I broke up with her. In fact, I broke up with her twice. The first time I broke up with her, I really thought it was over, and the second time I broke up with her was forever. I did message her a lot afterwards, primarily for OTK stuff, but... Primarily for OTK stuff? That is not true. We saw the messages. We saw the messages. That did not look like organizational stuff. You lied. You're a liar. There were times where I did want to go back to her. I'm not going to pretend I didn't. I was drunk. I thought I needed to, but... No, I didn't actually still like her. I was just drunk. It doesn't get any better. Almost every word is bad. Yeah, that's it. I don't think there's really anything else to talk about. This is something I think that we went over, and I am glad that it is out there, what I just said. And that's it. So that's it. I said what I had to say. I appreciate you guys listening, and I will be back. I'm not leaving anytime soon. All right, that's it, guys. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it.
I feel like if the
what? There's no shot that the last 6 minutes of this is XQC. Why? Genuinely, why? No way.
Establish that as a boundary not to post. Went through some trauma. Obviously, the man is not reading the room. And it was
This is fucking ridiculous. I'm sorry. I don't know why that's just as upsetting to me as anything else I just heard in this video. Yeah, I don't think, me personally, I think if I was in a situation like this, which I never would be for the record, I would pad the end of my response with 5 or 6 minutes of some other dude talking about my situation. That's really, really odd. I dislike this video. I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good. That's my feedback. What are the comments saying? Let's see. The very top comment is Emiru is a better tank. She must be. I feel like that is literally like the only thing he didn't address is the fact that she was in fact so good at being a tank in World of Warcraft that he couldn't even acknowledge that shit. That was too much. Someone download this before it gets deleted. He seems pretty proud of it. He's proud of himself. He said that. I'm glad he took no time to think of a reply because this might be the most dogshit response of all time. Yeah. That's not good. Yeah. Not the plushies. I think one of the most jarring bits of that entire video was him like saying she was also violent. She threw clothes and plushies. I put holes in walls and slammed doors. That bit really took me out. That was surprising. That was probably the funniest bit. Did you really drive 150 miles per hour? Dude, I always drive fast. Come on. She also drove fast. She just wasn't threatening to end it all. She has a Corvette, by the way. That's a fast car. All right, bro. All right. Where we at with it? I mean, I think that's pretty much it. Oh, somebody sent me a message with some with a little bit more context about the cover up that I was asking about earlier. Let me just take a look at that. Just expose my DMs real quick on Discord. On September 19th, 2022, was accused by fellow Twitch streamer Trainwrecks of downplaying and covering up an incident where his roommate and fellow streamer Crazy Slick allegedly assaulted female streamer. Later that day, streamer Ice Poseidon, who Mizkif worked during his shit, published a set of comments made by Mizkif from Okay. So he's been a part of a bit of scandal for a significant amount of time. Yeah, that's kind of where we're at with it. This is the type of thing that, like, I see these events, this drama happening online, and I was really sitting to myself, like, last night and early this morning. I was like, am I really about to spend 2 hours watching this? And then I was like, wait a second. I have like a whole YouTube channel for stuff like this. So thank you. 100 or so people that came through. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do. The next time something ridiculous like this happens, by all means, hit me up about it. I might go live about it. I think we are going to close out this good content. Thank you. Shout out Emiru. Very well put together video. Hope she's doing well. Hope she's doing okay. Clearly, she was a victim of some domestic abuse throughout her relationship. A very clearly controlling guy that admitted that he was controlling, admitted that he was telling her, like, what to wear and where to go and who to be with, and said that he was doing it to, like, keep her safe. But he admits to driving extremely fast with her. He admitted that we're still gonna bump that track. She said that if she talked about it, he would go after her about the rabbits, and then he literally did the thing. And then he was like, I said that I was. She said that I was going to do that, and that's not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do it right now. I don't know. I don't think that was a great move. Justice for the rabbits. If you got rabbits, please take care of them. Instant crush. Daft Punk. Huh. I don't know if I've heard this before. All right, hold on. Let me get the lyrics so it's less likely I get sniped. About that response is he literally came out and was like, yeah, I didn't really like her initially, but you know, I really wanted to move in a female streamer for content purposes. It's a crazy foundation for a relationship. It feels like a early 2020s weekend track, low-key. Everything, he basically fessed up to pretty much everything. The only part that's still kind of muddy is the whole essay portion, where he neglected to mention the fact that while he was trying to get it on with her, apparently she was sobbing. He also said he's doing extremely well, but he's also going to go nuclear and leak and expose everything. All right. Last track that we're going to bump before we close out our stream this afternoon. Please remember to subscribe. I will probably be back with another stream for you all later. Podcast returning tomorrow. It's doing it right. It's Daft Punk. Also, shout out Daft Punk and whoever is the copyright holder of this track not sniping us today. Much love, much. If you were tapped in by Derps, I appreciate you. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. Love you, mean it. Spread the bread. Enjoy the outro.